Hey, strangers from the internet. If you're new here, my name is Lyss, and if you've been around for a while, you know that this channel has mostly been about me navigating my 20s, trying to figure out a philosophy for life and building a life for myself. On this channel, you've watched me build out and live in a school bus, travel the country, fall in love with life, and most recently, buy my very first home, a fixer-upper cottage in the mountains of Colorado. But this hasn't just been my journey. Along the way, I found my best friend, Rio, and it warms my heart to see so many of you fall in love with her like I did. But at the time of adopting Rio, I didn't have a YouTube channel, so Rio's full story has never been told, and I think it's time we change that. We are getting another snowstorm up here in the mountains, and I'm hoping it's one of our last because I was kind of getting excited about spring coming. I thought it would be the perfect opportunity to have another sit-down chat by the fire and tell a very important story that hasn't fully been told here on this channel. It has warmed my heart so much to see you guys fall in love with Rio just like I did, and I think it's time we share her full story. So cozy up and hug your pooch because this is gonna be a sweet one. I adopted Rio about 2.5 years ago. I was going through a lot of life changes, and I knew it was time for me to find my best friend. At that time, I was living in my bus, and so many rescues didn't deem my lifestyle viable or good enough to adopt a dog. So it was really heartbreaking to be denied for a dog again and again and again. But now I know it was because the right dog was waiting for me. So this is Rio's story. Rio was found on the streets of Houston, Texas. She was a stray, a street dog, and she was found with a broken hip, a broken pelvis, covered in mange. She wasn't able to properly use her rear end, so she was kind of dragging herself by her front shoulders. And despite her horrific circumstances and immense pain she must have been in from all those broken bones, she was so determined to survive, not only for herself, but she also had a puppy. So somehow, with all these broken bones, in this pain, Rio was finding food and water for herself and keeping her puppy alive. She and her puppy were brought into the local animal shelter, where a rescue group quickly snatched up the puppy but left Rio to die. She was immediately put on the euthanasia list because she had broken bones. She was in such terrible condition. For how substantial Rio's injuries were, she would need surgery, and obviously a shelter just isn't going to pay for that. Texas has a huge stray dog population, so animals are constantly getting euthanized down there just for space in the shelter. It's really, really sad. So Rio was put on the euthanasia list, and someone sent a picture of Rio to the owner of Camo Dog Rescue. Rio couldn't be adopted out to the normal public because of her injuries, so it needed to be a medical rescue from a rescue organization that would be willing to take a shot at this dog who was in such terrible condition. Camo Dog Rescue, they heard about her story. It broke their heart too that her puppy was rescued and she was just left to die. Despite the amount of pain she was in, and clearly the amount of abuse she's gone through in life, she was still so kind to people. So Camo Dog Rescue pulled her from the euthanasia list. Oh my gosh, I'm getting emotional thinking about that. And they got her the surgery she needed. They weren't sure if she was going to be able to keep her back right leg, but she did. She got the surgery, and then she went into a foster home where she was able to start recovering. That's when I found her. I found her on Petfinder. Her story was just so heartbreaking and inspiring to me. And this was a dog that had been looked over. I can't even imagine how many people passed her by in the street before she finally got picked up and put into the shelter. And then for a rescue group to save her puppy and not her, it just broke my heart, and I'm gonna cry. Oh, I just, Leah, did you want to be on camera? Yes, yes, come here. Oh, good girl, yeah. From the photos on Petfinder, you could tell that her back end had been shaved recently because she had surgery. So, you know, she wasn't looking the cutest or like the most adoptable. And it just broke my heart to see how overlooked she had been. I mean, this is just such a cool dog. She's so special. I just sent an email expecting to not be approved to adopt her, but then I got a phone call from the rescue group saying that they think I would be the absolute perfect fit for Rio. I really had to earn her trust. This was a dog who was kind of like me, I guess. I guess our stories are a little similar in she was used to surviving on her own. She wasn't used to depending on anybody. She wasn't used to having, you know, her people, her family. It took a lot of time and patience to create a bond with her and to show her that I was someone that she could trust. It warms my heart so much to think about how far we've come. She didn't really trust me. She didn't really know how to play. She didn't use her rear right leg. The vets tried to tell me that she would never be able to walk or hike more than 2 miles. And this dog has gone on every single trail with me. She's traveled the country with me. My relationship with Rio is so special. She is my soul pup. I feel like she and I connect in a way that I often can't even connect with people. She has been with me at my darkest days, my lowest points. She's been with me at the best moments of my life. I've spent more time with this dog than any human in my adult life. She and I protect each other. She and I are there for each other when it feels like no one else really is. I'm so proud of her for fighting to survive as long as she did. I'm so proud of her for being open and willing to trust people and other dogs again, and for her willingness to give me a chance. I found Rio at a point in my life where I absolutely needed her, and I think she needed me, and we saw something in each other that a lot of people had overlooked. You know, I was feeling overlooked at that point in my life by the people around me, and we gave each other a shot. We believed in each other when the world didn't necessarily believe in us, and I just love this dog so much.
In the moments that I felt like giving up, Rio was my motivation to keep going, and I would not be where I am today without this dog. I've never met a dog with such a deep soul, and for the rest of her life, I'll do my very best to give her the life she deserves.
I know a lot of you are curious as to what breed Rio is. I got a DNA test done, and these were the results. She is Husky, Schnauzer, Pit Bull, German Shepherd. When we're out romping around in the desert, if she doesn't have her orange harness on, people often think she's a coyote in the distance. She's so cool. So that's the story of Rio. It's also a really beautiful reminder to take a second look at things and people and relationships in your life. What are you overlooking that might be really special or really important? If you have a rescue pup, share a little bit about their story down below. I love hearing about those special bonds. Gosh, we don't deserve dogs. We have so much to learn from them. Some of you have found out I now have channel memberships, which all of the proceeds go to Rio. So for a whopping $1.99 a month, you can spoil Rio with all the treats and fancy dog food and toys. You also get access with that membership to use special emojis, including a Rio emoji. So I thought that it could be a fun way to participate in the live chats and the premieres comments. So if you guys want to be a family member of this channel, you can join for $1.99 and spoil Rio. There's absolutely no pressure to do so. It was just a fun way for this little community to support each other even more. Rio and I love you guys so much, and thank you for watching this video, and we'll see you next week. Oh, thank you, honey.